If she is pulling away, most men think it means one thing. She is losing interest. But here is the problem. The move you are about to make next is exactly what pushes her away for good. And most men never even realize it. Because sometimes, distance is not rejection. It is pressure. And the man who understands the difference changes everything. If that is something you need, hit subscribe right now and stay with me all the way to the end. Let's get into it. 1. The one mistake that pushes her away forever. You have seen it happen. A man finally understands what is going on, and instead of stepping back, he leans in harder. More texts, more questions, more emotion, more everything. And within days, she is gone. Not because she did not feel anything, but because he turned something fragile into something overwhelming. When she is in this state, pressure feels like suffocation. Even well-meaning pressure. She needs to arrive at trust on her own timeline. You cannot force it. You cannot logic her into feeling safe. The more you push, the more her survival instincts activate. And the faster she retreats. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery in this moment means mastering your own urge to chase, to demand, to seek confirmation that what you feel is mutual. Because the man who can hold his feelings without needing her to validate them, that man is the safest place she has ever encountered. Here is what I want you to do instead. Give her consistency, without pressure. When she pulls back, give her space. But do not disappear. Check in occasionally with something light. Something that simply says, "I am still here." No pressure. Match her rhythm, without overwhelming it. If she opens up slightly, you open up slightly. Because here is the truth most men never hear. She is not avoiding you because she does not care. She is avoiding the intensity of how much she does. And the man who responds to that with patience instead of panic becomes the safest place she has ever known. And it gets even more subtle from here. Because the next sign reveals her investment in a way she cannot control, even when she thinks no one is watching. 2. She tells her friends the opposite of how she really feels. Picture this. You meet her friends for the first time. Something feels off immediately. They are watching you more carefully than the situation calls for. Evaluating you. Measuring you with a seriousness that does not match the casual setting you are supposedly in. And you think, why do they care this much? Because she told them something she has not told you yet. When a woman is casually dating someone, she tells her friends everything. She shows them the texts. She asks for advice. She is open about her interest. But when she is falling hard, she goes quiet. She downplays it. She tells them you are just a friend. Nothing serious. Because the moment she admits to her friends that she is falling for you, it becomes real. And real means she can get hurt. So she protects herself by pretending she does not care as much as she does. Blaise Pascal wrote, "The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of." Her heart already knows. Her friends already sense it. She is the last one in the room to say it out loud, because saying it makes it undeniable. And undeniable means exposed. Here is what you need to notice. When her friends evaluate you with a seriousness the situation does not call for, that is not coincidence. They are deciding whether you are good enough for something she has not admitted she is feeling. They are reporting back. And what they tell her either confirms or challenges the story she has been using to protect herself. Simply show up as the man her friends are hoping you are. Be consistent. Be genuine. Be the same person whether she is watching or not. But the next one, this is where it becomes impossible to hide. Because this sign does not show up in her words. It shows up in what she does when she thinks you are not paying attention. 3. She creates distance, but watches from afar. You have seen this. She stops texting first. She stops initiating. She is pulled back in every way you can measure. And your brain says she is done. The interest is gone. Move on. But then you check. And she viewed your story within minutes of posting it. She is still there, just not close. Still paying attention, just not forward. And that confuses you. Because if she did not care, why is she still watching? This is what psychologists call approach avoidance conflict. She wants you, but wanting you feels dangerous. So she hovers in the middle. Close enough to stay connected. far enough to feel safe. That internal tension keeps her suspended exactly where you see her right now. Leon Festinger wrote, "A man with a conviction is a hard man to change." Her conviction is that she is drawn to you, but her fear is equally strong. And that conflict keeps her watching from a distance rather than moving closer. Here is a quiet test. Go genuinely quiet for a week. Not as a game, as an honest experiment. Stop posting. Stop reaching out. The woman who is moved on will not notice. But the woman who is overwhelmed by her feelings, she will be the first one to check in. Because absence creates panic in someone who is already invested. Indifference never creates panic. Only investment does. Her distance is not the absence of feeling. It is the presence of too much feeling, more than she currently knows how to hold. And this is where most men do not realize what is actually happening. Because the next sign shows up not in how she behaves, but in how loudly she reacts to the smallest things. 4. Emotional overreaction and future talk. Indifference is quiet. Overreaction is loud. And most men get this completely backwards. They fear the reaction and ignore the silence. But silence is what you should be worried about. Because when she truly does not care, she does not react at all. You cancel plans because of work. Her reaction feels 3 times bigger than the situation warrants. You do not text back for a few hours. She goes cold in a way that seems completely disproportionate. And you think she is being dramatic. This is not a good sign. You have it exactly backwards. When someone does not care, they do not react. When someone is in deep, every small action feels like a test of whether you are still there. Her reaction is not pettiness. It is investment. She is revealing how much power you have over her emotional state. And that terrifies her, because she did not plan to give you that much power. Daniel Goleman wrote, "If your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you're not able to manage your distressing emotions, then no matter how smart you are not going to get very far." Her emotional reactions are not a character flaw. They are the fingerprint of someone who has not yet learned to manage feelings this strong. And feelings this strong only exist because you matter to her this much. Then there is the future talk. She mentions something weeks away, we should go there someday. Then immediately retreats, if you are still around. Whatever. That instant wall after the glimpse of the future is not disinterest. That is fear talking. She only imagines a future with you because she is already doing it constantly. She is just scared to let you see how real it feels. When the overreaction happens, do not match the energy. Simply stay calm. Say something like, "I hear you. I'm not going anywhere." Then let it breathe. That response is the exact opposite of what her fear was predicting. And every time you do it, her nervous system files it away as evidence that you are safe. But the next sign is the one most men misread completely. And getting it wrong can end everything. 5. The one sign everyone gets wrong. She is not nicer to you. She is more real with you. She challenges you more, pushes back more, disagrees more. Not because she respects you less, but because she is no longer performing. And most men misunderstand this completely. You have seen it. When a woman is casually interested, she stays polite, agreeable, pleasant. She keeps her real personality carefully managed because she has not decided whether you are worth the risk yet. But when she is in deep, she stops performing. She shows you the unfiltered version of herself because you have become safe enough that she no longer needs to manage your impression of her. John Gottman wrote, "The goal in marriage is not to think alike, but to think together." When she challenges you, disagrees with you, drops her performance around you, she is already thinking with you, not at you. That is not rejection. That is the beginning of something real. Psychologists call this negative intimacy testing. It only happens when she is emotionally invested. She is checking whether you can handle her at her most unfiltered, whether you will stay grounded when she pushes. Here is what I want you to practice. The next time she challenges you in that way that feels slightly bigger than it needs to, do not panic. Do not withdraw. Stay grounded. Hold your position calmly, without making it a conflict. Because the man who passes that test without announcing he is passing it becomes someone she cannot easily walk away from. And now, this is where most men lose her. Not in the beginning, not in the middle, but right here, when things slow down and patience becomes the only strategy that works. 6. The truth about timing and why patience is the strategy. This is where most men lose her. Not in the beginning, not in the middle, but right here, when things slow down, when the intensity fades slightly, when there is no obvious next move to make. This is the moment most men get impatient. They push. They demand clarity. They create exactly the pressure that collapses everything that was quietly building. Here is what most men never fully grasp about a woman who is overwhelmed by love. She has a timeline in her head, not for commitment, but for safety. She needs to see that you are consistent over weeks, not days. That you do not flip when she is distant. That you do not become desperate when she is close. That the man she sees on a good day is the same man she sees on a difficult one. Lao Tzu wrote, "Water is fluid, soft, and yielding. But water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield." Real emotional trust works exactly the same way. It cannot be rushed. It cannot be forced. It can only be earned quietly, through the accumulation of moments where you showed up without panic and stayed without desperation. Here is what I want you to do this week. Think about the last time she pulled back and ask yourself honestly how you responded. Did you chase? Did you go cold in return? Did you demand an explanation? If yes, that is not a failure. That is information. Starting today, you choose differently. When she creates distance, you stay warm without crowding. When she tests you, you pass without making it a test. When she imagines the future then retreats, you let her retreat without making her feel unsafe for having imagined it at all. Because over time, as she sees you are genuinely safe, the conflict in her mind begins to resolve. Her brain stops seeing love as a threat. She stops running from the one thing she wants most. The distance shrinks. The coldness melts. And eventually, she is the one moving toward you with everything she has been holding back. She is not pulling away because she does not feel anything. She is pulling away because she feels something she cannot control yet. And the wrong man chases that feeling. The right man gives it space to grow. The overreactions reveal how much power you have over her emotional state. The future talk reveals she is already imagining what she is afraid to admit. The realness and pushback reveal that she has decided you are safe enough to stop performing for. The silence to her friends reveals she already knows, even if she will not say it yet. The man who understands all of this does not panic. He does not chase. He shows up, consistently, calmly, without desperation, and lets her find her way to him on her own timeline. Real love is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is scared. And sometimes it just needs the right man to be patient enough to recognize what it looks like when it is trying to find its way to him. Now, have you experienced this? Where her distance turned out to be her way of protecting feelings she was not ready to show. Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and I will personally reach out to some of you. And if this gave you something real, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe if you haven't already because we go deep on exactly these kinds of truths every single week. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It genuinely means everything to me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.